Hey Dills, it's Sam here. A very, very happy birthday for your surprise birthday today and for the 12th of April.
G'day everyone, my name's Josh. I'm here making this little bit of a video just to first up wish Pope Dilius a happy birthday and send my apologies for not being able to be there.
Hey Dylan, it's 4:30 on a Saturday morning, the morning of your 43rd birthday. I just got up especially just for you to wish you happy birthday.
We still think, as I said, we still think of you often, and we talk about you when we were with Shandy and Josh, and all the good times we have, and all the good times we had at the monastery.
I don't know if you're wondering why I call him Pope Dilius.
Who reigned high on his mighty throne, and he was a good example unto us.
You were crowned the Pope because we all looked up to you as our dad.
But we lived, when Dylan was up here in Brisbane before he was married, we all lived in a YSA house together, and while I call it a YSA house, it was a bit more than that.
The monastery was more than just a bunch of bricks and good looking guys, or single ones as well. It was more of a concept, and that concept was, I guess, brotherhood, and always being there for each other.
We were all very close, much like brothers, while we lived there, and it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. We had a name for our house, and we called it the Monastery.
The monastery is probably the best YSA flat in Australia, no, in the world.
If any of you are wondering why I called it the Monastery, it was because it was a place where a bunch of old single men congregated and lived together, and we sometimes even spoke about some spiritual stuff. And so we called it the Monastery, and we had a lot of fun there. It was a wonderful place for a lot of people in the ward to come and visit and to hang out, and we were able to form a very, very tight brotherhood while we were there.
I think my favourite Dylan moment would have to be the time that we just held conclave.
That's when we were electing a new pope,
and you had to run out to see Renee, I think, from memory, just before you got married. And as you were walking out the door, there was a cup just near the hallway, glass cup full of water, and you knocked it over as you walked out the door.
And his foot kicked it over and smashed it everywhere. All the water's everywhere, all the glass is everywhere.
And turned around and said, "Who left that cup there?" and walked out, left the smashed glass of the water all over the floor.
Arguments just went straight on. We left quite dumbfounded, and we had to clean up this whole mess that he made while he was downstairs doing something.
That's my favourite funny Dylan moment.
Yeah. One of the things that we did do was establish a few good traditions. First up, it was our love of ginger beer and Bundaberg ginger beer, and we used to drink that on every special occasion while we were living there, and since that day as well.
And making a GB wall that stood 1,015 bottles high.
Lots of ginger beer, lots of sitting around talking about why we weren't married. They were good times.
But one of the traditions we did was...
we started while we were there was the fact that we would continually write songs, or better still, write new words to already hit songs.
We got a song and we butchered it, not only with that singing but also with that lyrical perfection.
Anytime that one of the monks, people who lived there, had a special event happen in their life.
And with any tradition in the monastery, we used to do it at the last minute, but every single song we did, whether it was Ode to Dylan, Ode to Joshy, probably the only song, the only bunch of guys who were willing to make a racist joke at a wedding reception.
I always know you've got my back, even though my skin is black.
Then we did Ode to Kimbo.
Hey, hey, hey! You got three. Hey, hey, hey! You're engaged and you're looking pretty. Sam's at home. He's texting on the phone, flirting with you. Thank you for being...
We did Ode to Sam, and I'm still waking up with cold shivers, and yeah, that one kind of crashed and burned really bad, but that's probably one of the best moments of the monastery. You, me, Joshy, and chorus in the changing room afterwards, and not saying anything, wondering if we said something wrong. Clearly not, but that was a great experience of butchering Sam's reception. Sorry about that one, Nori.
Dylan's was the first when he got married to Renee. We changed the words to a song and we performed it at his Bucks night and then again at his wedding the next day.
We probably peaked when we wrote Ode to Dylan.
Well, he likes to up at 6 a.m. and get out all that yucky phlegm. He wakes up on the couch.
And we had a lot of fun doing that, and it was a good chance for us to express how we felt about Dylan and the brotherhood that we shared. But it was also a good chance to give him a bit of a ribbing and just give Renee one last chance to find out what she was getting herself into.
So Renee, here's a warning. Boy, he coughs loud in the morning. You won't like to sleep in there. We hope you like the floor instead.
He can sing. It was done out of love for our brother Dylan. He's a good man and we love him very much.
What else did we do? We didn't do too much actually. We kind of bummed around from university. But
Really fun house. I think we all had some really good times.
it was great living with Dylan. It was a lot of fun. And as you get to live with Dylan, you get to notice that he really is probably the most quirkiest guy in the world.
He was full of quirks. He was a very quirky individual.
In fact, I think it was the quirkiest household. When you combine the quirks of Sam and Jared and Dylan, me and Josh were okay. But Dylan probably peaked up there.
One of the things I did figure out very quickly after I moved in there was the fact that you should really wear shoes at all times when within the monastery, within the walls of our home. And it was mainly because if not, you were likely to get a toenail embedded in the bottom of your foot and cry out in pain, much because Dylan would often cut his toenails and then just leave them in the carpet.
There's obviously the sniffing around looking for chocolate and eating everyone else's chocolate, but I really can't make fun of him for that because that's me as well.
Probably the biggest thing that stood out to me, probably the loudest thing that stood out to me, was every morning he used to imitate what a cat would do when he's coughing up a hairball. And I'm probably thinking that's what he did in the bathroom every morning, was hack something out from his throat.
Then there's the usual brushing your teeth and making a bit of the yakking noise as you're doing that while we're all trying to sleep.
It was quite disgusting and repelling, but
Then there's the other quirk of taking heaps of time in the bathroom and the shower and draining the hot water tank. But once again, I can't make fun of you for that without being hypocritical because that's me to a T as well. I'll probably beat you on that one.
Dylan used to shower for an extraordinarily long period of time.
He showers almost as long as Sam, until there's nothing in the dam.
To get up first thing in the morning and beat into the shower, or else that was it. It was over. You were late for your day to get started.
Then there's the taking over the lounge room, spreading your study material from one side of the lounge room to the other in the middle of the exam times, plonking down your mattress and stuff everywhere.
another thing too, if you ever got to sleep at the monastery, well done to you. I shared a room with him and so did Josh, and I'm probably still tired from the experience, but
If you didn't fall asleep in the house before Dylan, chances are you probably wouldn't get to sleep. Mainly because he snored like there was no tomorrow. You thought the walls were going to be coming in, you thought caving in, you didn't know what was happening. A squadron of fighter jets was probably flying over or what, but he would snore so loud. One of the other things I learned about Dylan was, and this actually happened before I moved in there, was the fact that he didn't have a car when we went back then. And one day we were at a TFY, I think it was, and he needed to get to the doctors, and I said, "Oh, you can with mate." And he borrowed my car, and I said, "Yep, that's not a problem. Yep, you're all good." And I soon realised that was actually a bit of a habit for him. He would often borrow the monks' cars and take them, and we wouldn't see them for a great length of period. I personally didn't see my car until the next day.
The guy drove the Honda to the doctor and the tape they back dry.
I don't know which doctor he went to, whether it was some shaman in the middle of nowhere or what, but yeah, he was borrowing the cars.
But Dills, you've always been a great friend since I've known you, and I always look up to you as someone who'll always do the right thing.
Yeah, just one more time, happy birthday, Pope, and I hope everything's going well for you down there in Sydney. We hope to see you up here one time soon, and yeah, sorry that we couldn't make it down there, but happy birthday, and love to all. See ya.
You deserve everything in life, and thank you for the memories. Happy birthday.
And well, hopefully we'll get to catch up one of these days. Thanks, Dills.